differentiated instruction simulation. So, tingnan natin, paano yan, Miss Jen? Just to review that we have 4 ways to differentiate instruction: content, process activities, product, and manipulating the environment or the individual learning styles, which I have also reiterated that one of the approaches of the differentiated instruction is tiered instruction. Na alam nyo na, and how to connect from the learning style, differentiated instruction to RTI. Because differentiated learning programs is an opportunity to implement, RTI is an opportunity to implement differentiated learning programs. So I can identify the heart and the circulatory system, I can identify the major parts, I can draw and label. Lahat ito, honest, alam naman nila dapat na hindi ito graded. But this is the parang reflection or checklist that they will answer na honest sila sa answers nila. So these are one of the parang anticipating reaction guide natin na parang yes kung sila, no kung una, before the lesson or after the lesson, or happy face or sad face or parang blank, yung wala silang emotion. All right, now you also have to make sure that when you create, as just like what you have mentioned, those are formative activities, formative assessments, correct? So you have to make sure that the activities or the formative assessments that you have designed are very much aligned with the KUD or with the subtasking of competencies. So nilagay ninyo ay kunyari sabi ninyo sa competency ninyo infer, pero ang pinagawa ninyong activity ay puro kayo pa-recognize, pa-draw, na-achieve nyo ba yon? So that means you have to take note of the verb, the action word. So kung talagang sila ay nagko-compare and contrast, make sure marami kayong activities ng compare and contrast. So tama si Ma'am Rose kanina, you're expecting outputs, you give a lot of inputs. Tama po ba? Yung sabi niya kanina. And then you have to make sure that along the way, you have to do the possible, to check the possible misconceptions of the students. So, palagi niyong babalikan hanggang sa ma-realize nila, paano nga, yun nga. Alright, so those are formative assessments. Sa summative assessments naman, it's the same. Wag na parehong-pareho. So, eto ang activity ninyo sa formative, okay, magpapasummative, pareho na naman. So, you have to tweak the activities. So, marami namang other way of identifying. True or false can be identifying kung correct ba yung statement or not. Matching type, right? So, now, yun yung mga ibig sabihin po nun. So, that's the reason, again, looking at the unpack or the subtasking of competencies, you have to always consider, kaya una muna ang subtasking bago yung, hindi yung paborito ko itong activity na ito, hindi naman siya kasama dun sa competency na na-subtask ninyo. Normally, you give pre-test, right? You could have to elicit prior understanding of the students, especially grade 6 pa yung huling lesson nila dito. So now, ang gagawin po ninyo, ikikip nyo lang po, papakita ko lang sa inyo how would you facilitate this model of differentiated instruction. Alright, so first, you could give the pre-test and then answer the activity number 11. So how do human organs, body systems work together to keep the body healthy? So kapag nag-pre-test ka, makakakuha ka ng quantitative data, kung ang gagawin mo, matching type, true or false, diba? Pag ito naman ang ginawa nyo, journal logging, so you could get qualitative. So, doon nyo makikita yung mga misconception ng mga bata. Iba pala yung explanation nila ng path, ng sa blood, ng sa veins. So, doon nyo makikita. So, now, you could ask your students to share your answer. So, normally, you can post some of their answers para mare-recall nila. You could write it. So, hindi naman ibig sabihin, pag nagte-technology na tayo, hindi tayo gagamit ng blackboard. While they are saying, you could write some important key points, sulat lang ninyo. So, to elicit the prior understanding of the students. Ang ating ending dapat dito, lahat ng bata, kayang sagutan ito. Make a connection. It could be an article analysis code. Sample lang po yan. So, with these questions, How do body systems work together in the human body? How do respiratory and circulatory systems work together? And how do digestive and circulatory systems work together? Or pwede nyo namang pagbali-balik ta rin itong question, eto para dito sa dulo. So actually, I have prepared here station up to 7. So bakit ang dami naman, Miss Jenny? Kasi dito natin i-incorporate yung ating intervention. So let's see. Let's see. You will assign sa Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, anong station sila pupunta. So, ganun siya. Alright. Now, and then at the end of everything, the students, so sa generalization, the best way to generalize is concept mapping. Tama po ba? Kasi napaplot natin yung ideas, yung concepts. Now, so dapat the student could answer at the end of everything. Circulatory system has parts such as, yan, have this one, whatever is that, dapat yung ilalagay nila na merong 3 types such as, has circulatory system has functions such as, works with what? Such as, okay, can have common illnesses, enumerate, which can be prevented through proper care such as. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung iikutan, ito yung picture na gagawin at the end of everything. Na kapag sa grade 9 po kasi, na dapat ito makikita na nila. Ayan po yun. So, dapat ito po yung magagawa nila. So, meron backward design tayo. So now, the activities that you're going to prepare should be very much connected with this. So backward tayo, pabalik tayo. So maggagawa na ngayon ako ng mga activities na kayang masagot ito. Alright? Pero syempre hindi nyo bibigay yan at the end na yan. Okay? At saka hindi yan one day. Oh my God, pwede yung eto muna, part by part po yan, according to your KUD. Correct? So ngayon, ang ipapakita ko naman sa inyo, paano natin gagawin yung station rotation. Now, i-connect natin siya dun sa ating competency. Alright, now, ganito po ang gagawin natin. So, kunyari, I have here, ang ginawa ko po dito, ito po yung exit activity nila. Formative activities lang naman to, assessments. So, I have here, activity number 12. Ito po yun. So, dapat make a connection, article analysis, how do body systems, they will explain. So, may article na ipoprovide. So, then, library research activity, students will use a variety of resources to answer the following. What are some illnesses related to the circulatory system? How can we care for our, yun, something like that. So, it will be given to you. So, ngayon ang gagawin ko, ito ngayon ang gagawin ni Tier 1. Kasi ito na yung highest level ng activities. Ito yung Tier 1. Kunyari, ikaw, dito tayo sa, ito ang Tier 1. Okay, ikaw ang Tier 1. So, ito yung activity, station rotation tayo. So, ibig sabihin kayo yan. Pero, si Tier 2, ang Tier 2 natin, ito yung kanya. So, ibig sabihin, for them to answer the Tier 1 activities, dapat masagutan muna nila itong Tier 2 activities. Kasi it's the prerequisite. Kasi hindi pa pala nila kaya, may kulang pang skills. So, kunyari ma'am, kayo yung Tier 2, dyan. Alright, so, Tier 2. And then, kayo dyan ma'am, ang Tier, ma'am, pwede na po kayo lumipat sa kanya doon. Okay, thank you. Nakita ninyo, yung activities na yan, yan yung mga tatapusin nilang mga stations. Pero it's up to you how would you arrange it in the classroom. Pero you have to make sure that the students would finish all. Now, the question is, paano ang ikutan? So, pag natapos mo na yan, where will you go, ma'am? Kayo po ang hindi po, Tier 3 siya. Tier 2 kayo. So, where will you go, ma'am, pagkatapos ng Tier 2? Tier 1. Kayo ma'am, pagkatapos nyo ng Tier 3, Tier 3 to 1, sino yung pinakamaraming tatapusin? Kayo yun. Now, what's your suggestion? Paano pag ganyan yung setup? How would you carry out the activities? Assignments? Or sometimes, remedial after class. O tapusin nyo para tomorrow, Tier 2 na. Yun. Ganun siya. Kukunti lang naman yun, pinakita ko sa inyo yung triangle, di ba? Baka naman mga 3, 5 lang yun, di naman sila lahat. Mas marami dyan for sure, Tier 2 and Tier 1. Now, nakuha niyo po yung idea. So, ibig sabihin, binigyan niyo na sila ng mga prerequisite activities for them to address or for them to do the next level. Alright? So, ganun po yung gagawin natin. So now, sige nga, ikutan tayo. Last, di ba remember, I asked you understanding of the students. I told you also that you could write it on the board, some of their answers. Then, ask them to revise their answer. So, nagbigay ka na ng intervention. Ang dami ng activities, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. Now, this time, tingnan ninyo kung gaano naka-reach ang kanilang answers. Alright, so that's for the revise answer. So, you could kunin niyo ulit yung data. So after that, marami pa kayong mga different activities na pwedeng gawin in preparation for the performance task. And then, you could give na this time your summative assessment, parallel with the formative assessments that you have prepared. And then, you may ask, ito yung kanina pinapakita namin. So, ito yung success criteria. Pwede nyo pandagdagan for the in connection doon sa ating pang grade 9 na competency so that you would see your students' confidence level of confidence. Hindi naman siya graded eh. Maaaring sasabihin na nila 2 thumbs up na sila. Diba? So instead na tanungin nyo, do you have other questions, class? Mahiya yun eh. Pagkatapos ng pagkadami-daming binigay yung activities, hindi niya pa rin naintindihan. Diba? Dito makikita ninyo, you could get now data here. Meron pa rin palang natitira. Hindi niya pa rin naintindihan. Alright? So that's it for the success criteria. And then, of course, that's the time you could give your performance task and the rubric. And then after that, saka nyo ipapasagot yung final answer. Sorry, hindi ko napalitan. Dapat final answer for the activity.